on my ass. Them drugs would make me slow, and the alcohol made me crash my car and run over some babies. No, thank you. Well, come have some sandwiches. No, that meat got hormones in it, and it's making me aggressive when I eat it. Oh, shit. You that other motherfucker. Yeah, that's right. But we always ate meat. Yeah, but we didn't always put hormones and bullshit in it to make it twice as big. Make a chicken the size of a goddamn elephant. And that's why you girls are having the whole thing when they're 8 years or 6 years old. Shit, some kids are born already, they're, growing. It's the food, dummy. You can't eat that shit and tell me. KRS-One said they'll give you donkey meat and swear it's fresh for 98. You suckers. Go ahead. Some motherfuckers. Look, you see what I did here? Anybody catch this? Science. Watch. Look. Yeah, your brother Ernie has what I call the third eye. I have a radio station, by the way, and it's called Positive World Radio Network, PWRNradio.com. And you're going to hear people on there that are not given a voice anywhere on this planet. The first person, Sam Greenlee, who wrote The Spook Who Sat by the Door, which is about the first black CIA agent who uses the information and the technology that it gets to create war against America. The FBI went to all the theaters and threatened them. For 30 years, this cat couldn't make $1. Now he's an underground hero. He was on my radio station. He's 85 years old. The second person I had on my show, Dhoruba bin Wahad, who spent 19 years in prison for killing 2 police officers. Until after 19 years, they did the DNA and found out he was innocent. They gave him $1 million. He said, fuck you. And he gave the $1 million to activists and activist causes. He was the founder of the Black Panther Party in New York City and the founder of the Black Liberation Army. My third, I decided to slow it down a little bit, I thought. My third person was Timothy Taylor. Who knows who Timothy Taylor is? Somebody. You all know who he is, some of you. That's Wise Intelligent from the Poor Righteous Teachers. Well, he's a rapper. What can rappers talk about? He got on there and he said, I asked him about Obama. And he said, Obama is like the guy that works at McDonald's. You go to McDonald's, you put on your uniform, you got to serve that greasy shit. You can't say, I'd rather sell salmon. Let's sell salmon today. And let's take that grease out. We're going to put olive oil in there because that shit's not healthy. Your ass is fired. Leave your uniform and take a walk. And that's Obama, and this is what he said. So the fourth person, I said, man, the FBI can't even tap my phone. They've been tapping it, but they're tapping everybody's phone now. I was special before, and now they're tapping everybody, all over the world. Anybody see the Bart Simpson movie? Come on, some of you saw that cartoon. Nobody? Bullshit movie about Bart Simpson. But there's a scene in there where his Homer picks up the phone and says, we're going to bomb Springfield something. And you see this huge room with about 30,000 people in it. And one of them at a little desk says, we finally got a terrorist. And they're screaming. I was like, holy shit. Because I was with some kids, they forced me to go see that movie. And then I realized, man, that, you can get away with shit if you have a little bit of humor. Back up to that last picture. That's your brain on drugs. Back up. Look at that picture. Look at the pants. If I do that now, I'll get arrested. But look at that. Look at that. Got all the gold. Got a Crips fucking rag on his head. That means I'm down with the Crips. He got gold, all that shit, and he got his pants sagging. And what did I do? I put puppet strings on his ass. And he didn't even realize it because I had a hint. I had that third eye that told me that he was going to be influential. But only as influential as long as he's doing the bidding of the puppet master. The minute you break that, you better be prepared for some shit. And you better be prepared to have the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, and you better have your God next to you to be able to back you up and to bless you and to keep you safe. I got angry with Chuck D one time, and I said, you cuss too much. You're on the radio, you're cussing, you cuss too much. He said, this is not our language. Our language was taken from us. This is somebody else's language, and I'm going to use every word in that language. And Chuck is a quiet dude, man, and I was like, holy mackerel. And you know what? He was telling the truth. It's not our language. It might be your language, ain't my language. And I know it ain't your language. You leaving? You got a jet. That's okay. Is that real diamonds? No. Okay. I got to take out my loop. Why do you think a Crip, or what is he, a blood? Crip. You all know that. He said in that beautiful movie, the video he did in Brazil, anybody see that? I watched it a lot because I was looking for subliminals in it, so I watched it a lot. And there's a part in there where he says, they wonder why I wear blue and twist up my fingers like that. Yeah. He put that right in there. So that's using the word to get your message out in that bullshit. LL Cool J, now this is I did the first FUBU commercials. All you all know about FUBU, for us, by us, until we sell it to the Koreans. Well, LL financed them kids, and I was at their little funky apartment, the little house they had in Queens before, and they didn't have money to pay for me, but they gave me clothes for my kids. My kids went to school. My nephews and everybody was laughing at them. FUBU, FUBU, FUBU. Everybody. As soon as it got hot, all the kids, yo, you got an extra one of them, G? No, we don't. And it wasn't out yet, and my kids had them. Anyway, he was asked to do a commercial. LL was asked to do a commercial for some fucking store, Macy's, whatever the store was. And he gets up there and he said, yes, it's wonderful. And he's talking this shit. He says, you should always buy clothes made for us and by us. Right there in the commercial. And they gave him like $1 million to do that. And they didn't even realize he had put his own shit into their shit. Oh, stay there, wait. Why do you think a gangbanger, a guy that's been on trial for murder, a rapper who's hardcore West Coast gangster and all that horse shit, why do you think the media loves him? Why do you think, he's everywhere? Cartoon show. Why do you think that is? Is it because maybe he's flipping it and doing their agenda and they're giving him access? And the minute he stands up and says that's bullshit, you ain't going to see Snoop no more. Don't take my word for that. Go ahead. Anybody remember him?
What the hell happened to the guy anyway?
He's playing basketball and he got injured. Anyway, his daddy is Master P, and I'm going to say this just once about Master P. I had seen him on TV, and I really wasn't too impressed with that whole shit, his movies and all that. But the guy came to my studio, and you can only judge people by what you see in person. We had been there for 12, 14 hours. This guy, Master P at that time, was a multi-millionaire. He was on the Forbes 500. And after doing all that, I was sweating down to my socks. And there was pizza and food and, all the shit that accumulates from a 12 or 14-hour shoot. And I went to the bathroom, and I took off my shirt, and I was just drenched in sweat. I cleaned myself up, and I go back in the room, and here's Master P with a broom cleaning my studio. And he had a bunch of bodyguards there, and they're all picking up garbage, and, So I said, P, what are you doing? He says, listen, we made this mess. We're going to clean this mess. I said, but you don't have to. He said, no. He said, that's how my mama raised me. He says, these cats are getting paid. They ain't doing shit all day. They got to do something. He said, and my hands ain't broke. They stayed for an hour and cleaned my studio. That's a multimillionaire. So you let people talk that shit. I'm telling you what I know. Master P. Usher. That's for the ladies. I mean, come on. You guys turn your head. Come on. I met Usher when he was very young and very humble. So he comes to my studio after 5 years of being the shit. He comes to my studio, and I got these 2 young girls working in my studio who are amateur photographers, and I'm giving them the ability to meet people and do their shit. So I'm taking pictures, and one of the girls whispers in my ear, so, you know, Usher says, what did she say? I said, she wants to take some pictures. He says, cool, absolutely cool. And the 2 girls did their own shoot with him. And he didn't have no flunkies and, you know, all that, the crap that hangs out with you. And he didn't do that once, he did that many times. So underneath the talent, the good looks, and the bullshit is a man with a heart and a good spirit. Again, I'm telling you what I know, okay? Oh, I thought I had more because I had an old school, it's on a memory stick, and I had an old school thing that goes all the way back, but that's part of it. I could go on, but let's hit me with some questions. And don't ask me my favorite rapper or if Lil Wayne is gay and why is he tongue kissing baby and all that dumb shit. I like the gossip. Yes, sir. Why did I pick you? Because you're tall and black and good looking. That's why I picked you. Next question. No, what's your question, bro?
My question is, actually, I was going to ask, what do you think about,
You're assuming I think. But go ahead.
Right, I'm assuming you think, yeah. What do you think about DJ Premier or just even producers in the game? Like what, because I would argue that the game right now is very producer driven. Like what do you think your role is in terms, like what do you think the, you know, producers bring to the table in terms of hip hop? Like, you know, guys who've been producing, like, do you rate them? Like, do you think, you know, like Primo's dope or Rick
I got in
Rubin
trouble
or whatever?
last week on Facebook, and I found out that a lot of people on Facebook are not really thinkers, but stands. Anybody know what a stand is?
Yeah.
You all know what a stand is? Who doesn't know what a stand is? A stand is somebody that's an ass kisser more than a fan. I mean, that's somebody that you know, you run naked through Times Square shooting babies and you're okay because you're so-and-so and so. So I posted a question. I said, is Kanye West, a lot of people don't like him, but they're all saying his production is dope. I said, but you got to ask, who are his producers? And are the labels throwing money behind him in order to use him to dumb down our children? That's what I asked. I didn't say nothing about him or nothing else. I said, who actually does the beats and all that bullshit? And then I put a little footnote that I have spent a week in the studio, sleeping on a couch, watching the whole procedure. I worked with Wyclef, a lot of people where I just stay in the studio and KRS uses my words and it's so, you know, I've been in that production thing. So my question is, how much of what people do is actually what they do, and how much is just, I hire Premier, I hire, you know, this one and that one, I get, you know, whoever in the studio, Large Professor or whoever. How much of it is mine? And how much of it is appropriated? And is it relevant? Is it valid? Does it matter? If I got a video with white girls in pink and butterflies and shit, you know, what am I saying? And then I come wearing my Fendi bag and, you know, I don't talk to nobody. I mean, come on. Hip-hop, that's not hip-hop. As far as producers, there's some dope producers, but the thing is that Quincy Jones, if you guys want to study music and want to study dope production, look at people that worked with live bands. Quincy Jones worked with Miles Davis, Michael Jackson. Fuck, it's easy to say who he didn't work with. And he took live musicians. He worked with Aretha Franklin. He worked with Curtis Mayfield, virtually everybody. And he worked with, and he did We Are the World. He did all that stuff. But it was him as a human being listening to humans. If you go into the studio now, I don't know how many of you have ever sat in a studio where they're tweaking and deaking and making all these sounds and sampling and resampling. It's cool if you're the Bomb Squad and you're with Public Enemy, but the rest of it, where hip-hop, rap specifically went wrong was when it started sampling itself. Instead of me sampling punk and reggae and polka and Czechoslovakian music or whatever,